When I was young, my parents literally had to bribe me to read, and usually even that didn't work. There wasn't enough money in the world to get me to open up a book. Even in first grade, I remember knowing that I was in not only the lowest reading group, but that I had to skip recess 3 times a week to meet with the teacher. I knew that I was working a lot harder than a lot of my friends and my sisters were, and still wasn't getting the same result in terms of grades. So I just figured out that I wasn't as smart as them, or it didn't really matter how hard I tried. I was never going to reach the same bar that they were, and that's just something I'd accepted at a certain point.
Most of the feedback that she got showcased her weaknesses and focused on comments about if you would just try harder, if you would just spend more time, if you would just be more careful. Comments that didn't really help her compensate for the struggles that she had, in part because I don't think they were fully understood.
By 8th grade, she had lost her academic confidence, and that's why we moved her, because you can't have a teacher making her feel like she's not capable of doing what she wants to do.
I switched schools to a school that highlighted my strengths, and I think was very accommodating in working with my weaknesses. That's also about the time when I discovered assistive technology such as Learning Ally, and it changed not only how I achieved as a student, but also how I perceived myself as a student.
I think it just totally changed her. For Mara, I think now she has learned more about herself, and in doing so, she knows she has tremendous strengths and advantages, and she's using those in a way that is positive for her.
Growing up, I had to be very resourceful and find other ways to get my work done, get the information I need, follow my interests. So because of that, I think it's given me a little bit of a creative edge, and I think I've been able to see connections between concepts that some of my classmates haven't been able to.
I think the transformation from a student who feels pretty beat up to one who feels like they can tackle anything is something that takes a whole collaborative effort. So there's a huge piece that has to come from the kid in terms of being able to understand themselves in a new way. That takes being surrounded by a community of supportive people. So it's a combination of hard work and therapy and empathy and compassion and a lot of teamwork.
I spent a lot of time working in inner city Baltimore schools, and being in that environment makes me even more grateful for the opportunities I have, because seeing a lot of kids who are struggling to read, whose parents aren't educated in learning disabilities, whose teachers have 40 other kids in the classroom and can't give them the kind of individualized attention that I have, who don't have computers at home who can read to them. I don't think that I would be where I am today if it hadn't been for the help that I've gotten. And so I think it's very important to level the playing field and give other students who don't have the opportunities the help that they deserve.